Welcome to Backstage Pass, the show where we talk about the newest movies and all the work done behind the scenes. We're your hosts, Leo Overstreet
and Ava Jones.
And today we're talking about the gothic drama Frankenstein. Netflix's Frankenstein was released in theaters on October 17th, but was released on streaming services on November 7th. The film stars Oscar Isaac as Victor Frankenstein, Jacob Elordi as the Creature, and Mia Goth as Elizabeth Lavenza and Caroline Frankenstein. The film was directed by Guillermo del Toro, most notably known for directing Pinocchio.
Frankenstein is a gothic horror with a fresh take on the 19th century novel by English author Mary Shelley. Part 1 of Frankenstein follows the scientist Victor Frankenstein, who after the death of his mother becomes obsessed with creating life in order to cheat death. But then, Part 2 of Frankenstein, in reference to the novel, is from the creature's perspective.
And it's at this point that we remind you that anything past this point might contain spoilers. So if you haven't seen the film already, make sure to watch that first. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein really puts the A-game brushes on when it comes to makeup. The texture and patterns really sold the deal for me. It established a new state-of-the-art makeup in Hollywood that we haven't seen before. The very detailed creature with every stitch available to see by the naked eye, and veins that were textured on Frankenstein, all those exemplify the advancements of makeup.
And yes, it's true. Jacob Elordi did spend up to 10 hours getting his makeup done for the creature. And keep in mind, they had to do this each time they filmed, so he would be sitting for 10 hours, then immediately have to jump into this challenging and often physically demanding role. In Frankenstein, Jacob Elordi wore 42 prosthetics on his entire body with 14 pieces for his head and neck. Wearing all that and still being able to deliver that strong of a performance is something I personally find very impressive. And today's honorable mention is the costuming. Frankenstein takes place in the 19th century, so costuming is very important for both the actors and the audience to feel immersed. The costume designer, Kate Howley, delivered not only a realistic but also a transformative interpretation of the 19th century Gothic fashion. A standout being Mia Goth's wardrobe, which are period accurate in their construction and creative and modern in their fashion. All the costumes fit in with the Gothic meets steampunk vibe that the rest of the movie has, and I personally think they also added a lot to the characters.
Another thing that stood out to me was the lighting in the film. It really offered one of the best Gothic effects I have ever seen on the screen. From the emerald greens to the shadowy blues, it really pulled everything together in a stitch. Hey, just like Frankenstein with all the dead bodies he stitched with. Get it?
Not only was Guillermo determined to create a film with style and meaning, but the actors were as well. Oscar Isaac took his director's words to heart and worked to embrace the questions without giving definitive answers.
Something else that I would like to spotlight is the split of the movies. I like the way it showed both sides of the story, with the first part being about Victor. It shows the audience his path to become this mad scientist and the little spark he holds with Elizabeth. I also examined that he, Victor, only really cares about himself. As he became closer and closer to creating the creature, he didn't care how he affected others. An example of this can be seen at the hanging ceremony, where he nitpicks everyone's body and picks who is the best choice for the creature. Another time is when Harlander falls to his death. Victor did not give a crap about his death. He just went on and created the creature. In the second part, the audience was able to see the creature's point of view. In this part, we see him struggle and thrive throughout his journey to become more human-like, not creature-like. Something that I found interesting was when viewers saw his escape through Victor's lab. It really showed how powerful he can be in a short amount of time.
Frankenstein not only includes the original themes of the dangers of unchecked ambition, trying to play God, and the consequences of prejudice, but also goes deeper into things more personal to Guillermo, such as the relationship between father and son. In the movie Frankenstein, The Autonomy Lesson, Guillermo shared how important it was for him to highlight the rejection both the doctor and the creature face from their creators, in the doctor's case, his father, and how their trauma guides their actions in the film. I really enjoyed how it felt like every aspect of the film was working to show at least one of the themes at any given time, even if it made the movie feel somewhat disjointed at times.
Yeah, I agree. I found it interesting how bad parenting really impacts how a person can act. Like, you see that in Victor, where he is mean and doesn't care about anything but himself, and he just wants it all for him. And yeah.
Yeah. Frankenstein has been performing well, and the majority enjoyed the movie and found it be a good addition to the genre, but some did express that it left them wanting more. Overall, the movie was praised for embracing the uncomfortable and highlighting the ambiguity of its characters. For example, Dr. Frankenstein is the hero of his story, but the villain of the creatures in part 2. However, some audience members felt that this movie played it too safe and didn't think it lived up to its full potential. These critiques were rooted in that they believed the script was lacking and a disservice to the star-studded cast.
Okay, get your popcorn since it's argument o'clock. Now's the time when Ava and I will share our different opinions and thoughts and defend our cases onto why we think they're better. This episode's disagreement is makeup. Though the makeup was astonishing and very good, I wish the film used a more traditional brush for this one. If I think of Frankenstein, I think of the classic green and boulderish head, not pale and veiny ghost-like. Like if I saw a picture of Jacob Elordi in this makeup, I would guess he's a muscular ghost, not Frankenstein.
I just think the original Frankenstein looks a little cringy. This feels like less of a caricature and more of a realistic idea of what a man made of dead people would look like. And I think the difference in his appearance is effective because it shows us that this is a different kind of Frankenstein that is symbolizing different things.
Yeah, I get that, but I wouldn't think it's...
I still think he looks Frankenstein.
He does.
He's stitched up.
The makeup's good. I wouldn't think it's Frankenstein if I was...
All right, then.
Okay. Tell us what you guys think down in the comments.
In the 26 days that it has been out, Frankenstein has achieved a 7.6 out of 10 on IMDb and an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes. Make sure you follow our Instagram at The Bulldog Tribune if you haven't already so you can listen to more Backstage Pass and let us know the next movie you want us to cover.
Bye.
Bye.